It was August 2020. I left home. I was 16 years old and I was living with a friend of a friend. His name was Dave Noak and I lived in his granny flat. Coming to the end of my stay, I started to experience paranoia and experience psychosis. I had a bad experience with the teacher at TAFE and I won't specify their name. He left me distraught and grief-stricken. At that moment, he threatened to call my mum, and I didn't have a good relationship with my parents. I honestly wish they didn't exist. We had no mutual respect. I was put into a mental hospital, Northside. This was for my schizophrenia. My psychiatrist thought I wouldn't last a day. I was hypomanic. I ended up growing and making a few friends in the 3 weeks that I was there. My nurses were amazing, and it was a safe space to be vulnerable and listen and talk. After a stint at a youth home, I started to hear voices and experience paranoia and have sensory overload. This started at the end of my stay at Northside. I was put into RPA Maria Bashir Hospital. It was honestly the toughest 2 weeks of my life. It was so boring. My psychosis worsened, and I had voices that told me what to do, and they lied to me about when I was going to leave hospital. After RPA, I was sent to Bulga Youth Mental Health Unit. I healed for 5 months mentally. I started to talk to my parents again, and after a few weeks, I was living back at home. We finally had mutual respect for each other. I faced my fear of hospitals in AMU, Adult Mental Health Unit. For 3 months, I lost connection with my parents, but I did gain belief in God. I found my values and lived my mission. My values are truth, compassion, integrity, growth, bravery, and courage. My mission is to serve with music and always grow. I moved to Fig Tree Mental Health Unit after making great connections with some of the staff and nurses. Amanda and Sabrina were my favorite people in AMI. Fig Tree was a 1-year stay. I became independent. I started doing my own shopping with my money that came from Centrelink Youth Allowance, DSP. I did my own washing and I went through the gym 7 times a week. Macquarie Fitness First was amazing. My PT Moj Chapa Ruzbahani pushed me so hard. I managed to do 280 kilograms of leg press and 80 kilograms on bench press. In July of 2023, I moved back into my parents' home. In the last year, I managed to face my fear of hospitals, crowds, beautiful women, death, and women, and strangers. I did 4 music gigs. I went skydiving twice. I had sex with a beautiful woman, and I had my first kiss with her. I went to Driven Young, and I met 40 strangers. They are now acquaintances. And that's my story up till now. Thank you for listening, and see you later.